Okay. Now, read the following statements and select the correct option. Now, this was similar. See, whatever questions I have taken in the very beginning, this is the very beginning class. So, I've usually taken a concept and have converted into multiple type of questions. So, you can understand that one type of concept itself can come in multiple ways. Okay, multiple questions, multiple formats, it can be framed. The same thing. Statement 1 says that reproduction cannot be considered as defining property of living organisms. Of course, I was just speaking the same thing. It cannot be considered true. There are many organisms which cannot reproduce. Of course, we spoke just now, mule, workaway, etc. Are these two sentences true? Of course, they are true. Look at the options here, students. Both the statement 1 are correct. Of course, both 1 and 2 are correct. If in this option might be in the upcoming questions or the questions which is converted, it is given as reproduction cannot be considered as living property. It is true. If the second statement was changed and something else was given and it was true, then the option would also have been changed. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Same goes with the other if it was reversed. If both the statements which were given it was incorrect, then it of course it was statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. Of course, yes. Which of the following statements regarding the response of living organisms to external stimuli is correct? Now, whatever the living organism is there and it is getting an external stimuli from outside, which statement is correct? They are saying. Okay, let's see. First, A1, the external environmental stimuli, whatever the external stimuli is coming, of course, stimuli is coming from environment. That stimuli can be physical, can be chemical, or can be biological. Physical, of course, somebody touches me like this or pats me on my back. Of course, I'll move, I'll see behind who is doing that. That's a physical stimuli, of course. A chemical thing, something by God, by something you are working with some chemicals or something, a chemical falls on your hand or something, it will burn. You will react to that burn. Of course, it's a chemical stimuli. There is a biological stimuli which comes from your own system. Your own system also produces certain type of stimuli. Okay, that stimuli can be biological also if it comes from within, or certain type of things if it's a biological organism and that biological organism is giving you an external stimuli. That is also the case in both the regards. It is true. Yes, so one segment we have crossed. Second one, all the organisms from prokaryotes to most complex eukaryotes can sense and respond to external stimuli. Of course. Now we must first of all clear what is prokaryotes and what is eukaryotes. Prokaryotes are very simple organisms and some organisms which are of lower grade, very low grade organism with simpler system, the simple system. But the complex ones are what? We eukaryotes. Every eukaryote has different and multiple complex systems. Regardless, it is a prokaryote or a eukaryote. We do those two of them respond and sense to external stimuli. Yes, students. They sense and respond. Regardless, it is a small organism with a simple system that is prokaryotes. Regardless, it is a complex system. Both will of course respond because they are living organisms and consciousness and respond to stimuli is one of the defining properties. They will. Consciousness and respond to external stimuli is a defining property. Of course, in all the properties what we have discussed, response and consciousness of self-consciousness is one of the major features for living organisms. Now, all we have discussed and we have understood 1, 2, 3, all are correct. If we have understood that 1, 2, 3, all are correct, then all of this is correct. The option goes D. This is the same answer which is given that we have seen. No matter it is primitive or simple prokaryotes to most advanced chickens, everybody will respond to environmental factors. The stimuli, whatever the stimuli we perceive as a higher organism, we are eukaryotes, we are higher organism students. Now, whatever is perceived by us, the higher organisms, of course, and higher animals, through their sensory receptors. We have sensory receptors because, of course, we are higher organisms. We have our eyes, we have ears, we have nose. These all sense organs. We have skin, of course. An external skin will be there with different individuals as well, but we have much more advanced stage of ears, eyes and nose that will of course help us to perceive the stimuli much in a better way. Plants do not need such sense organs because however they do respond to external factors, but those external factors are light. Those are by water, by temperature, by pollutants. Any unwanted thing is come into their circumference. They do respond to such things as well. If you have a plant grown into your garden and just instead of putting good things to it, if you put all the bad things, pollutants, plastic and all regarding that plant, will that plant die over the phase of time? It will die. Will it react to that stimuli? Of course it is reacting to the stimuli. That is why pollutants also is a type of what do you say response which is given by the plants and of course other organisms. If your crops are there, if the crops are there and the crops is been attacked by certain type of organisms, you know, right? Different crop is attacked by different pests, those insects. If it is attacked, will it die? Will that crop die? Of course, it is a stimuli it is reacting to. That is also other organisms, etc. Human beings have an additional facility of self-consciousness. We human beings have self-consciousness. We understand, we are aware of ourselves, how am I sitting, how my hands are moving, or how am I speaking. This is a consciousness which I hold. This is also a very important character which I'm holding, regardless of other characteristics of living organisms I have. This becomes the more important character. Consciousness and response to stimuli are defining properties of living organisms.